Whew. Hello guys, hope you're all doing alright. Yeah, so as always, done a little bit of work off stream. Not immediate stuttering. But yeah, so done a little bit of work off stream. Not really much, to be honest. This is a current low res render that's going. This is obviously a much higher res render. Well, I'll say much higher res, 4 times higher res. Actually, it's not. It's 1K, so this is just undersampled right now. But this is a cleaner version of the render that's currently going. Basically just showing how the eye is currently looking. So, changes I did off stream. I worked a little bit on the pupillary rough, kind of reduced the overall volume of that. Messed a little bit more with the density of the fog volume. And beyond that, it was just very small kind of texture tweaks. Most of it is pretty much the same as what it was off stream. Just a few kind of tweaks to what was already there. But yeah, so there's a few things I want to do. We will be focusing on the eye still today. There's 2 things specifically I want to look into. One is just adding a bit more variation to the gradient, because currently the gradient of color from red to white at the front, or whitish, is really smooth, and I kind of want to break that up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do first. Once I've done that, I kind of want to add some displacement, like wherever this gradient is, just like a kind of bunched up, fleshy kind of thing, like what you're seeing here. So it's very, very subtle, but I kind of want to get that in. I could probably do that with a noise, honestly, but I just need a mask to kind of help drive that. So we'll put that in there, and that will just kind of displace outwards, stop it from being such a perfect sphere. And beyond that, we're just going to start at least trying to set up some camera projections, which I've never done in Katana. So I can't promise that this will go well, but that's kind of part of the fun sometimes. It's probably going to have a lot to do with setting up position references and creating a camera. I don't know if you have to create the camera in shader or not, but we'll see how all that goes. Hopefully you don't have to create it in shader, because that'd be a little bit of a nightmare, but if you do, so be it. But yeah, so I'm just going to get started. I'm going to kill this off. And I'm going to set it as my backdrop too. There we go. But yeah, so let's start by just varying up some stuff. I'm going to move everything to the other screen, just to make it a little bit more neat. And, oh yeah, some other stuff I did off stream. So, I've got the cornea color removed from the texture, just because I'm doing it in shade. I think I did that on stream. But I've also gone into the eye vein ISO map, and I've added a big point so that I can blur it slightly, because for me it was getting way too sharp. I've not actually changed anything there, it's just kind of going through and doing this thing. Let's just rebake that, let it do this thing. But yeah, so bake point basically just saves whatever the input is and allows you to apply filters as of Mari 5. So I've just added a Gaussian blur, and that just removes a little bit of detail, which means using it as a bump, it works a lot better. Because obviously, like, this is a very chaotic map, and without that, it looks crazy, crazy sharp. So that's what it looks like without that Gaussian filter, and this is what it looks like with the Gaussian filter. So it's very, well, it's like an 8 pixel blur or something, yeah, 8 pixel blur. And that just removes that detail and makes it work just a fair bit better as a bump, or as a displacement. In fact, no, it is being used as a bump, it's not in displacement. But yeah, so beyond that, it's all the same as it was before. This guy I'm going to change the color of, which seems a bit dark, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. I'm just going to set this to like grey, just so you know kind of not to use it. But that's the channel export there, so this is more for preview purposes. So I can preview roughly where the cornea is. Again, though, it's approximate, so I'm not actually applying this color in the shader. I'm applying it entirely within... sorry, I'm not applying this color in the textures, I'm doing it entirely within the shader. But yeah, so let's start getting this a bit more varied up. What you're going to need to go to this guy. And yeah, we're just gonna have to slowly kind of pan around this whole thing to kind of get a little bit more variety in there. We've also got this noise, which I'm going to vary up a little bit. Let's set that to 2. And then hey Kiriato, how's it going, man? Back to 2.5 maybe. There we go. And that was at a little bit of free variation. Cool. Right, so yeah, let's start getting that painted in. So it's going to go to this guy. We're going to go to a rougher brush. I might go with watercolor. Why is it scrolling so slowly? And I'll have to turn off paint through. And we're just going to go in and basically just do... Oh. Okay, it needs to be massively reduced in flow. Okay. Let's go to... Where is it? Painting. Still too much flow. And what I need to do as well is add a bit of position jitter to this guy. That flow is way too slow. It's annoying how painting down is so much, I guess we could paint to a lower value rather than painting down to 0. The best way to do it, right? I don't mean to do that. Let's paint it to like 0.3 grey. Okay, let's paint to a higher value. Let's go 0.4 grey. let's preview that paint node on its own. Hi, is it possible to paint over the geometry, or are you painting over a buffer and then projecting? Mari is always painting over the buffer. Like, I think no matter what, it's painting over the buffer. So that's that done. We do need a gradient towards the back for that noise. I don't mean to do that. Okay, so we got that. Which gives us this result. Subtly different, but subtleties do a lot for you. Okay. Okay, so let's get a general kind of noise in there. So, what's this one? Oh, that's people area rough, okay. Backdrop. Come on, there we go. Alright, so people area rough. Cool. We'll create a new channel. This one doesn't have to be high res, we'll go 2K. ISO sclera back. Like that. Okay, we're going to create a 2-point gradient. Okay, so then this one we want to be moved forward a bit, like that. Okay, I'm going to grade that. I'm going to move this back a little bit as well. Let's go with minus 0.25. Okay, that's that. Honestly, that's all we need in this case. Technically, I could do that with a ramp, actually. A circle ramp. Oh yeah, let's do that with a circle ramp. Granted, it doesn't wrap around the back. It'll be white here, but let's just have a look. Let's see if we can get that to work. I'm going to go into my, where is it? IMATs. Go to the cornea. We're going to add temporarily, just get rid of all this stuff. That is not what I asked for. I'm going to create a ramp. Ramp float. We want a circular ramp. So, from like here to here, multiply, create clouds, no, a noise, regular noise will do. Okay, we'll add a bit of that, distort it a little bit, and let's just see how this works on its own. And then we'll combine it. Let's sort of see how this works first. Oh, I need to set that to ramp UVs. Okay. Let's go 555. I'm going to ramp float. Okay, I'm going to do it as a map. Although I can just let's go flat. Oh, actually, that's a realization. This needs to be at 0.5. There we go. Okay, so we need to gamma that. To make it an exponential curve rather than a linear one. Okay, and I think as a result I can move this further forward. So let's put that like there. Put you about there. Okay. That's where it starts. So let's plug you in there. And we'll just have to do a stretched. We'll have to set this to use pref. So I'll have to set up pref in a moment. For now, let's just keep it simple. Set this to like 20. Okay. So let's put that into displacement. Plug this back into surface. It's just a case of setting the amount of tiles, or the amount of scale even. Let's go with 2, 2, and then set this like 15 maybe. Okay, that might be looking a little bit too stretched. So it's like 12, increase it to 3. Once this is done, we'll just layer it up with the original one and kind of set the strength of it to be a bit more subtle. Again, we're just going for like this kind of thing here. So I really like the way that appears. We may need to move the ramp back a little bit as well. Or at least blend it more, which is like a lower gamma. Let's do that. Okay, so let's start putting these together. Okay, let's call this ramp. Ramp float, ISO, sclera, back. And then this one will be CC, ISO, sclera, back, gamma. Gonna set this a bit lower, let's go 3, 5. Okay. Oh, did I not connect that up? Okay, let's set it back to 0.5 then. Noise, sclera, ripples. There you go, that's a nicer fade. So set all these to be input output only. Alt disp sclera back ripples. In fact, let's call it sclera ripples. Okay. So now I guess we could keep that like that. Layer RGBA. This one sets a strength of 0.1. So we're just going to go in here, set this to plus, set it to 0.1. Plug that in. Like that. Delete you. Sclera noise disp. Or disp sclera noise, I guess. Okay. Then this, that does need to get multiplied because it's been masked. So we'll set that back to 1. Layer 2, plug that into input 2, and then plug this into there. Then we're just going to call this LRGBA or LRGB sclera disp. So it's plus. Sclera noise, sclera ripples, and I'm going to set this to like 0.5. That needs to be set to 0.1, right? And that one needs to be set, let's go 0.05. I just need to let this refine for a little bit, see how it's looking. I may even have to kind of adjust that ramp a little bit. Like reduce the strength again, but then also reduce the fall off, so that it's a little bit less of a difference. Let's have a look at the normals pass. Oh Jesus. Okay, well that's not what we want. Let's go 01 again. We may need to move these both down 1 and have a base layer just be set to black. I know that works. So let's go to our catalog, delete this one. So technically, as the ripples get stronger at the back, the other displacement should reduce, because it's kind of like a layer on top. Which makes me feel like I should probably do it as its own map. Maybe we could set this up in Mari without too much difficulty, it just kind of gets a bit tedious to adjust. It's looking a bit too regular. I also need to reduce the wetness at the back for that to work. But if we check the normals pass, let's see what that's doing. Just adds a nice little bit of rippling. It's just too strong at the back. So I think I might have been right, I need to reduce the fall off, but also reduce the actual strength of the thing. Because I like the effect it has here. There's also too many ripples, I think, which is actually with these effects, that's just reducing this guy. Let's go, so it's a 9. That'll just reduce the amount of ripples. And technically, yeah, we need the roughness to increase for that fleshy bit at the back, but which would be really easy to do. It's just, do I want to? Yeah, let's give it a go. Layer RGBA. Let's just create this. LRGBA, LRGB, spec R, base, RGH. And we're just going to grab this guy, plug it into mix. And we're going to set that to mix. Let's go, we'll set it to add, add a bit of roughness. Plus, sorry. There we go. We'll set this like 0.3. Sclera back. Let's increase that alpha. And then we need to connect that up. Let's see what this does. looks like it's worked. Yeah, we just need to add a bit more, I think. Let's add a bit more. Let's say it's like add 0.5 and just set the last one to 1. I want to clamp the output as well. And while that renders in the background, I'm going to rearrange all this a little bit. Just kind of space it out a little bit better anyway. There we go. See, technically that should also start to blend to a deeper red color. I feel like I should use the displacement to do that. Or at least color correct, yeah. Let's color correct it based on that. So we're going to go color correct. We're going to expose it down. Okay, that's the limbus. We're going to go plug U into input free. Fuck off. Input free. And a mix free needs to be this guy. Okay, and this is just going to be a scleroback call. And we'll set that to overwrite. I go to this guy, CC scleroback. Okay, and we're just going to expose it down by, let's say, 1 stop. And saturation we're going to boost by 5%. Just see how that looks. See how this looks. Let's check out the albedo. it looks like it's worked, but is a little bit subtle, perhaps. I'm going to darken it even more. Let's go 2 exposures and 10% higher. There we go. So, we don't need this in that case. So we've done a decent enough job procedurally. We do need to update this though, because we've added that extra bit of breakup at the front. So let's just go call eyes, export flattened, export current channel flattened. Cool, so that's that done. So we now just need to go back into okay. So get into Maya. We want to go into the TX manager, sort by name, call eyes, remove TX for selected, call eyes, create TX for selected. That kind of forces a refresh. Okay, there we go. Get into save this guy. And what I'm going to do, I don't think I need Mari again now, because I'm going to be doing some projection painting, as in like painting actual images. So let's go to archive this guy, personal projects, Singer Sargent, texturing, Mari, body, archive. I'll save over that one. Yeah, that's fine. So the texture's kind of grown forward a little bit, but that's fine. It's a little bit noisier now, which is what I wanted. I may have to push it back a little bit. Let's just let this do its thing for a moment. May need to push it back a little bit. Maybe it's going a little bit too far forward. Might push it back when this is done. Right, okay, so projections. So we need to start setting up a projection for the stroma. I kind of want to get rid of this dark spots thing. What's this clamp doing? Oh, that's just, okay. So this is the base call. We'll keep that in, I think. And try to think like how I'm going to approach this. So I feel like we need to do a base color and then something on top of that. So actually, the iris fibers aren't going to be affected by the melanin in the same way. They just need to match the general color. So I don't think we should do the same layer RGB for both of them. This is still mip-mapped a little bit, so it's going to be a bit blurry for a while. Yeah, I feel like for this to work properly, this ripple effect, I'd need more variation. Although to be fair, we are seeing this in isolation, which we wouldn't in most cases. We also don't have any... well, that's a good point actually. We have nowhere near enough ripples. Distortion. That'd probably do quite a lot for us. Let's give that a test. So what I'm wondering now is camera projections are pretty simple, generally speaking, but can I drag in this? This will get done at render time. So we need pref. We need that because we've got two eyes and we're going to be using one image. So rather than set up two separate projections, I'll set up one projection with one eye and copy it over to the other. The easiest way to do that is get my template eye, which is already world center pointing exactly forward, project to that and use it as pref for these guys. Now, how to do that, I have no idea because I've never done any of this before. I have no idea how big of a difference that makes. Front facing, back facing, I don't care because I'm texturing a volume, so it has to go straight through. Aspect ratio, that'll be just 1 because I'm going to do a square projection. Projection color, that's fine. Off-screen color is irrelevant because we'll just drag an image into this. So can I set up? We're gonna rename this to render cams. Okay. Is this the one that can move? Yeah, okay. Just gonna rename this temporarily. I need to clean up this section of the scene. Let's check normalness. Feels a bit better. Okay, so face side. I won't rename the actual camera because currently this is just disconnected. I'll have to extend this out. But yeah, so this is render cams. Which, what the hell did I just rename? So we need to set up a... I guess this is shading. So that's, is it 5? No, it's 3, I think. Yeah. Okay, extend this down a little bit. Gonna do a merge. Since it's a network material, it doesn't really care where any of this stuff comes from. So merge, I'm gonna create merge projection cams. Although, maybe I should do this as a separate section, projection setup, because I need to copy pref and all that. So we'll do this, which I guess I should do before this just for the sake of cleanliness. Stop trying. There we go. So we will grab all this, push it down even further. Camera create. So this camera needs to have 0 overscan. It needs to be an off-graphic camera. Off-graphic width. So that's in regular units, right? I'm just going to do this. Cam utility / let's go iris projection cam. Okay. Cam create. Okay, so we got that. We also need to set up a attribute copy, because pref is essentially copying a position from one model to a separate attribute in a different model. Because if you just copy the position, all it does is move it. It's like a blend shape. But if you copy the position to a different name, i.e. pref or position reference, that should work. So I'm gonna grab this guy and create an alembic in, and this will load in our template eye. So I'll need to export an alembic of our template eye. So let's go cache alembic, export selection to alembic, UV right. Technically I can make it within Maya, but I think I'd rather do it in Katana just for the sake of learning. So let's just go to modeling, publish, and then I'm going to create a utility group, and this will contain I template geo. Is that the naming I went with on the above? Oh, I template underscore group. Okay. Cool. Let's just keep doing this thing for a while. So this alembic is going to load in geo scene graph. Okay, there we go. Alembic in. So I'm just going to call that import template I. Again, disclaimer, I have no idea if this will work. Let's preview this guy. That is very much broken. Let's go publish utility. Oh, we don't need that. What's the error? Does it have to be a path? Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Okay. So I have to do this per eye. Luckily, it's only one geometry that I need to set up. Let's go eye, left eye, iris, stroma. That, and we want an old utility group here to grab iris. So this is actually copy for the left eye. Have you ever tried to make an eye with only one geometry to get good results in displacement and iris parallax? Yeah. Well, when you say one geometry, do you mean like one geometry for the entire eye or one geometry for the iris? Because one geometry for the entire eye, it honestly I think is a fool's errand. You're going to have more problems trying to get that to work than just having two geometries. Two geometries you used to do all the time. I can think of an eye. So, for example, this guy that I did years ago now, this is two geometries. There's one for the clear layer on top, which covers the entire eye, and there's one for the sclera and the iris in one, which was slightly more refined than this one. So that's two geometries. One for the cornea, which covers, again, the entire eye, which I've later realised is not necessarily correct, and then one geometry for all the visible parts of the eye, basically. I use that setup fundamentally until this, I think. So this is a more refined version of that, if I remember correctly. The problem with that setup is it's not even remotely physically based. Doing it in less geometries? No, I wouldn't even bother. Not anymore, anyway. I need to learn how to do this. Okay, let's check the attributes. Okay, so how do I copy this? There's a way to like copy this over. Can't remember how to do it. So if you hover over it, it tells you what it is, geometry.point.p. And then this one, we want, we just want that, but pref. So So if we now select that geometry, we now have pref. So we're gonna do this, and this is the left eye. Yep, L iris pref. Why are these the same? Oh wait. let me Google how this node works. Attribute copy. These shouldn't be the same. Let's ask them where. Let's have a quick look. If I was to... So if I select the right iris, that's left eye. Let's go to that shouldn't have any attributes on it. Alright, good. Because the geometry itself has the attributes. So if I now replace that, we get pref. But these numbers are still the same. They shouldn't be the same. Do I need to merge these? Like, do I have to do that? God, I hate that so much. There we go. So we merge those together. So now we have the utility eye. So now I can grab that, put it there. Oh, that doesn't actually change. Okay. Okay, now we have to... Why would you have to do that? Why can't you sample 2 different points? So this is the left eye. Okay, let's try something different. Let's look at the attributes for this. So 0.0466, alright, cool. So then if we view, let me just snap this. Oh wait, because it's an instance, so it already contains the correct position. just copy that over. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's why it's acting weird. It's because it's already... Okay. It's already in a group of transforms. If I go scene graph and select, I guess, that one, go to the attributes, this will have a transform. And that offsets it. So that's why the numbers are the same. So does that mean it's already working then? I won't need pref. I'm going to keep this in here anyway, but that means that this is working then. I think. This is so confusing. Okay, if this does not work, there's a lot of variables that could be set up wrong because, again, I've never done this, so I'm kind of shots in the dark here. But I think this might be okay. Just backdrop this. If this doesn't work, what I'll have to do is go back into Maya, freeze transforms on the groups above. But in the meantime, we'll just go to the scene graph. I want to see... Oh, we need to go to this guy, make him non-interactive. Then let's go to the viewer. Actually, where's that utility? Okay, got ice drummer. God, we need to merge this in temporarily at least. Let's just set this to like 5. Okay, so that doesn't change anything. Right, good. So we just need to set this so that this stroma touches the sides. So let's set the orthographic width. I'm going to go 1.2. Close. Although that's fine, right? We don't need more than that. So I'm going to do something disgusting. I'm going to get the snipping tool. Because it doesn't need to be a perfect pixel match for this to work. So I'm going to grab that. Like that. I'm going to save this to my desktop. Move this over here for now. Save as. I'm just going to call that stroma projection. Cool. It'll open up Critter. What we could do to test this while it's going, I'll keep this like that. Let's do that. Merge cam lineup. Okay, so let's go into my iMaterials. I need that scene graph, cameras, utility. Cool. And projection color. I'm just going to plug a ramp into this. I want that to be a V ramp. Like that. And then for now, plug that into scatter color. I want this to use pref. Pref name is pref. So what we should find, if we render from this camera, the gradient should be rotated. Oh. Oh. Mismatched hierarchy. How did that happen? Okay. I need to just grab you. There we go. What we should find is these match up. So the ramps will be pointing different directions. But if that's not the case, I need to freeze the transformations on the groups. Oh lordy, this is slow. Okay, it turns out volume projections are horrifically slow. Oh, that failed, okay. Out of range. Attempting to get varying parameter pref. So I can't find pref, okay. So I guess pref name is actually going to be the attribute, right? Which would be geometry.point.pref. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, I need to temporarily at least replace this with a flat shader. Plug you in here. Oh yeah, it doesn't work, does it? God, it can't be easy, can it? Let's plug that in there, disconnect you, go up to the volume setup, and render that. I also need to prune the rest of the eyes, which I think was like that. Okay, let me just... Okay. I need to see if this is working on this guy as well. So the material assign, we'll need an extra strummer. Okay. Okay, it's working on him. I just need to prune out for stuff. Jesus, this is getting complex. Scene graph, utility. We want to get rid of this. We want to get rid of all that. Okay, so it looks like the group transforms are going to fuck it up. So what we need to do is utils. Let's just go over here. Utils flush caches. Okay, so we need to grab all this stuff. We need to freeze the transforms on these two. So I'm going to save my scene before I do this. And I'm just going to delete the history on them, then freeze transforms. Okay, modify freeze transformations. Okay, we want to kind of delete history on this guy. Okay, can I do that now? Modify freeze transforms. Wait, if I was to go in, new scene this, and go Arnold, no, cache, Alembic, import Alembic, grab this guy, so let's go publish, and put this guy in. That should strip out the instancing. Okay, so we're going to delete IPOs. We're going to grab these two. But we don't want to delete IPOs. We want to keep everything exactly as it is. Okay, we're going to freeze the transforms on these two. There we go. And then just immediately re-export that without touching anything. Oh, actually, we need to make sure that the eyes themselves don't now have transforms. Cool. So now if we render that, okay. Let's check this guy. Scene graph. Iris stroma. So these aren't the same numbers anymore. That's set to use pref. Pref name is set up correctly. if I was to create a camera in here, ortho camera. We just want position to be 2, and then where is it? Where's the width? Does it not give you width parameters? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Awful camera that gives you 0 controls. Yeah, so that's position. So there's a matching. I don't understand how this isn't working. If I set this to be like that, they should be red. Yeah, they are. Why is that the case? It couldn't be the ramp, could it? If I was to grab, say, a random texture, let's go grab iCall. And put this down here. Anyone remember what Udemy was? Oh, I'm already in there, okay. So this is 11, 21, 31, 41. What happens if I do this? Okay, so okay, so it's projecting this regardless. Still not sure why I don't want to create a different camera for each eye. I really don't want to do that. That would be the forced way of doing it. What if I change this? Let me search Arnold camera projection K2A. Set in utility shaders. Where is it? This is for Maya, but I don't want it for Maya. The array type. See, the confusing bit is this has worked. So why is it kicking up a fuss? Won't render the bottom line, just wondering if it... No, it doesn't fix those. What could it be that's breaking this? Oh, it's in shade, of course, okay. PREF is short for vertex and reference pose. I mean, it's short for position reference. Oh, it's looking for vertices. So it needs to be a vertex attribute. So, is it always going to be looking for... Let's go back to our previous scene. It's going to be looking for vertex attributes, right? If that's the case. So, Arnold PREF Katana. So Stroma. Want transfer attributes, don't we? Katana, Arnold, Mesh, attributes. I need to find vertex attributes. Okay, I'll search the word attributes. Does it have to be an arbitrary? Yes, it does. Okay. So it needs to be an arbitrary. Let's move this over to here. So it's looking for geometry, arbitrary. Okay, there we go. Copy that to this guy. Okay, that's good. And then copy that to this guy. And if that doesn't work, try removing the other bits. Okay, so try that. Ah, god damn it. And I thought I was being clever. Okay, so has to be more to it. What could do this? I mean, I'm 90% sure I've done that right, but just in case. This shouldn't change. Yeah, just added a dot. Yeah, this moves it a layer deeper. That's opening pref. Arnold user data. What am I doing wrong? Why does it still have Xform data? Oh my god, after all this time, was that it? Okay, if I... Let's go into... Oh yeah, the Xform. Okay, so... Don't save. Cache, Alembic, import Alembic. So this should have frozen transformations, but that doesn't mean that it will have 0 Xform. Okay, so if I select the groups, they are frozen. Okay, but if I... Let's create an empty group. No. Empty group. I'm gonna grab all this stuff, drag it into there. That is a genuinely empty group now. Let's do that. Let's try exporting this. Cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Don't know if I froze. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. So let's just grab this guy. Then go cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Export back over this guy. Let's get into here. So left eye and right has X1. Okay, so because that would have refrozen. I can kill that. Why do they still not work? I shouldn't need to do that each time, but I'm just making sure. Okay. This is difficult. Scene graph. This There's no X form in here anymore. Okay, let's check this again. Oh, still nothing. What could be doing this? Okay, what other options are there? I can kill Mari now. Oh, this just so I can do some camera projections. Cache. Export selection to Alembic. Let's go into the options. I can remove that. I can remove all. Oh, I need to type that in there, don't I? Yeah, none of that should have any effect. What else could there be? Okay, I may have to end the stream and see if I can figure it out off stream. So that's not doing anything. What else could there be? The thing I'm finding so strange. Wait, hold on. I just set the wrong place. What about down here actually? Is it possible that this is just... No, it's still there. So it's not being stripped out. These vertices are clearly different values, so it has worked. We got utility, which these match 0046688. 0046688. So these are matching. That is correctly transferred across to geometry arbitrary pref, which is a float. Does it need to be a vector? I mean, it should be, right? Because that appears to me like it is. Does pref need to be vector? Attribute set. How do you create a vector? That's automatically going to be a vector, right? Are there any other ways to create attributes? Nope. Null object settings, does that AOS geometry. Okay. How about try this? I'm gonna make sure that this actually works to begin with, because I realised I should have done that a long time ago. Let's make sure it can even project a volume to begin with. Yeah, that's fine. This should have a gradient on it. Alright, yeah, we need to. RGB. Set to B. Oh no. Would it have not worked anyway? I thought we could do that. If that's working. So I can move this ramp. Yes, we know that's working. Okay, in that case I have to have a really big think, because that's not working. Is it just sampling the first pixel? No, it can't be. It is picking something up. So I guess they don't support texture projection. Okay, so the only way really to get that to work then is to actually have attributes in the fog, which I can't do because of the method I'm creating this fog. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to end the stream and have a big think to figure out what the hell's going on. Yeah, shit, okay, I should have checked that way sooner. It's interesting though that this is still working. If I was to set this to, let's say, yellow. Hit turn yellow. So volumes just straight up then don't accept textures, but I swear they do. Because that's what camera projection's for, right? Is it allows you to do that sort of stuff. Is there a way to turn that into anything? If I create, in fact, if I just plug this in there, and set this to fold. Problem solving. Yeah, problem solving is fun. The problem I've got is that I'm currently trying to problem solve in something I've straight up never done before. What's the manifold called in Arnold? I guess we can create an Arnold shading node and find it through that. What happens if we set up a triplanar? So let's delete that. Does a triplanar projection work? If I was to plug that ramp in here, plug that into this. That didn't change. Yeah, no change at all. Okay, so triplanar doesn't work. If I was to directly plug in, let's say, a checker. That's scatter color. Is it only noises that it supports? Like, only free? Because I thought that was already 3D. Just set this to a low value. Wait, I've been an idiot this whole time. This one's not set up. So So all that stuff might have been working. No, okay, never mind. Why is this still rendering different then? Is that just how big the noise is? Oh, is that 3? 3 with 5. Okay. Why is this one still not rendering correctly though? That's the weird bit for me. Because this is set to... should all be the same. Oh, of course, because it's being done after. Okay. So in that case, if I swear, if I actually engage my brain, it'd be good. Okay. So let's go to iMaterials, camera projection. Okay, so it does work. Okay, so that's good news. It does actually work. I just need to find out why pref isn't working. Yeah, colors are gonna have to be a bit crazy, so I'll have to use masks. Okay, so that's progress in some way at least. I just gotta figure out how the hell. So I still need to find out why the fuck these are being like that. It's kind of difficult. Like, why is pref not working, like, at all? Because pref is there. It's just refusing to work. If I create a noise, let's just do that for now. I'll set this to pref. Is it something specific to all this stuff? Let's just set that to like there. These two should be identical. Because this one's not rotated, this one is. Let's try using a more visible cell. Yes, they're visibly not the same. They're actually trying to be in a way. Wait, actually. Are they being the same? Let's think for a moment here. That's not quite the same, but it's close. Face cam. This is just a debug stream. Yeah, not the same, they're just really similar. Okay. I copy this. Put that into here. Just check if that works. Didn't change, which means it's not using it. Okay, Arnold K2A pref. Just reading some stuff off screen. This is eliminating variables at least, because this isn't based on the camera anymore. Although we haven't eliminated all the variables, because there's still a flat. Put that into there. Okay, so that's not doing anything. K2A chord underscore space. There's 9 results on Google when you search that. Okay. Funnel. User data float. If I do this, plug that into P. It's changing. Which means it's not finding any of that stuff. Do I need to put this into Arnold attributes? So this guy go into attributes. No, it's Arnold. There isn't an Arnold attributes, is there? I need it to be orthographic, but what happens if I use... What if I use that? not working? When does this get evaluated? Is that render time, right? Camera. What if I create this? What if I do that? Okay, it moves, so it is picking up the camera. At least I think it is. What if I give it the wrong camera? What happens if I grab, say... What happens if I give it this one? Didn't mean to do that, but okay. Does that work now? Okay. So that works. Well, it doesn't work, but it's getting these, which means the projection itself is working, which means that this projection is working. So I don't just want to create a camera for each eye. I really want to avoid. I just want to use pref. Position reference isn't working. I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, see you, Kiriato. Thank you for dropping by. I'm so determined to fix this shit. Come on. Right, okay, so that's back to the results it was before, which is what we expect. Set this back to red. In fact, we'll set it to green. Okay. Pref isn't working. I'm wondering if this is just broken. Like if chord space itself is broken. Shaders. Utility. Camera projection. Is that line there? I know it's really important. Array type. But I don't know how to change a data type. I'm wondering if attribute copy isn't the way to do it, but how do you set pref in here then? Attributes, add attributes. If I create a texture reference object on this guy, and then does it create a new set of attributes? Message. How do you see what the message is? I just want to see a list of the attributes. I can't seem to find it. Let's check the dope sheet. Wait, it's a different one actually. What's the name of it? Hey G1, how you doing? What are you doing awake at this hour? I'm trying to remember the name. There's a really advanced thing to see like every single attribute on something. Is it component editor? I think it was a dope sheet. Not sure I'll be able to find dope sheet very easily though. Attribute spreadsheet. There we go. All. Need it per vertex. Oh, you're in the morning. Wanted to ask you something. Sure, what's up? So the length of that isn't changing, so it's not storing the attribute. So if I would it be possible to have access to your tellable we found? So yeah, it should be on my website. Why is this not working? The array type can be... See, it should already be a vector. That's the thing that's bothering me, is because a vector is just free, well, more than one float. It says you need access. Oh, okay. If you click on that again to request access, I might have to do it manually, although that'd be very annoying if I do. And that would mean that everyone who's tried to do it in the last few years would be like in the backlog. But yeah, if you try again, it will pop up for me on a email address, and I can approve it from that. Okay, so let's try attributes. Scene graph. Left eye. Like the access is denied. Yeah, that's fair enough. I can have a look at that. Let's go next film again. How do you strip transforms? That'd be what it is. It's just moved the X one, but why is it doing that? Oh, that's I pose, don't want that one. What if I export selection, modeling, Maya exports, test. Do you see it? I'll have to check later. Let me just test something. Left, stroma. Okay. Then delete that out. File, import. Modeling, Maya, exports, test, left stroma. Then we have to get rid of all that stuff. I stroma geo, is that the name of it? I don't think it is. Okay, so let's get that exported. Detail, flush caches. Okay. Cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Okay. So then select this guy, There is no X form on him now. There is an X form on that. Let's see if this works though. No, okay. Alembic, remove X form. Can I do an object set? An attribute set even. Or attribute, oh wait, no, attribute set can delete attributes, right? Delete, we want to look for, let's go back to over scene. And we'll keep that as is. So we got this guy. That does have X form. So we just want to delete X form. And to do that, I'll open this guy up because he should be the same. So he doesn't have X form. And he does. So those two should move or should not move when I delete X form. Paths, I'm going to set this to cell. Cell selection is just going to be cell selection is just going to be custom scene graph. I want to look for X form, was it? X form all lowercase. Okay, viewer. Let's try rendering that now. God damn it. Okay, so let's try checking down here now. I just really don't want to create a separate camera for each eye. Like, it's not difficult to do, it's more just the principle of it. I want to learn how to set up PREF correctly. Let's just open the scene. So these are different numbers. 311 is what I need to remember. So okay, Arnold, no, sorry, cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic, export over U. So that'll put all the X forms and stuff back on there. Well, I never took them off, I guess, but okay. So let's just go monitor, no. So these are the same again now. I don't think I still have the access. Yeah, no, you don't. I need to do it. I'll be doing it off stream. I'll give you access. So I need to freeze the transforms the group above. Let's just try this again anyway. What now? Right, okay, I'm gonna have to do this off stream because I've been at this for a while now, and although I've learned quite a lot about attributes, I haven't got it working, so I'm gonna have to ask around. I'll probably ask the Foundry guys, see if they've got any tips. But yeah, hopefully next stream we should be able to set up the PREF and start getting some cam projections in there. In the meantime, I'm just going to alt-save this scene, and I'll ask around. But yeah, sorry about the complete chaos that the stream was. I just need to figure out what the hell is going on with all this stuff. But yeah, so I hope it's been interesting at least. I guess you get to see the problem solving side, even though the problem was not solved. For context, in a studio environment, you wouldn't struggle with a problem for that long before just asking someone else. Like, someone will know. I mean, studios would have stuff like PREF set up, but yeah, it's one of those where it's good to ask people who know more. It's just in this case I'm streaming and I'm in a room, like, you know, with just me and my girlfriend, so I don't exactly have like a lead artist to ask. But yeah, I'll try to solve this off stream. I'll chat to a few people, and if we get a solution, great. If not, I'll probably work on some other stuff, and we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Hope it's been at least somewhat interesting, and I'll see you again in probably a few days. Right, bye guys.